Welcome back to Different Look. If you're just joining us, we're taking a look at the death penalty in Maryland beyond the comments from lawmakers and experts. For Shujaa Graham, now 61 years old, there is no question as to whether capital punishment should be abolished around the world. As a young man, Graham admits he made a lot of mistakes, but from the day he was convicted of killing a California prison guard and sentenced to death along with another inmate, Eugene Allen, Graham has always proclaimed his innocence. He fought hard to get off death row and out of prison. Listen to how he says life was difficult emotionally behind bars.
You're not fit to live. On a particular day, we're going to kill you. It was hard.
After several appeals, a jury found Graham and Eugene Allen innocent. Graham's wife, Phyllis, always believed he was innocent from the time she met him while working as a prison nurse. We welcome Shujaa Graham and Phyllis Prentice to the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Phyllis, you have quite the interesting way of meeting Shujaa. Just tell us what it was like, you know, once you got there. Of course, you didn't walk into San Quentin with the intent of meeting Shujaa, I don't think. But, you know, we never know. Tell us what it was like when you went there and some of the things that you heard about Shujaa.
Well, I actually was in the San Francisco County Jail, and I met him. His conviction had just been overturned, and he was in from death row, directly from San Quentin. And I'd moved from New York. I'd been active in the prison movement, in the political world in New York. And when I moved to San Francisco, I said, I'd done work in prisons before. I'm a nurse, and it felt like good work to do. So I went in with good intentions, never knowing that I was going to meet this incredible man. I was warned by the guards not to go too close to his cell. I'd passed medications, and I couldn't understand what they were talking about, because whenever time I went by, he was very polite and would talk and would just, I realized he was this incredible person. I read about his trial. There were other people on his staff that told me what he had been through in death row and the political nature of his case, and we started talking.
And Shujaa, you said that you really thought Phyllis was a spy. Talk to us about that situation.
Well, you know, after so many years in prison and prosecutors, and they put people next to you and say, oh, he told me this story about his case, and I just couldn't understand for the life of me why would someone want to just keep harassing me. I said, she got to be working with the police. Why she want to deal with someone that's probably never get out? And so I was just like really uncomfortable dealing with her, and I was polite to her and everything like that, but I didn't accept none of her offer. No, ma'am, I'm good. Do you need this, Mr. Graham? No, I'm fine. And I would be just like this, laying back in my cell. And that was the nature of our conversation, because I didn't trust anyone, because I had been betrayed so many times. And all I wanted to do after I came off of death row was fight my case and go through my 4th trial and hopefully get the hell out of prison. And it was just really hard for me to overcome that. And it was problems even after I got out, trusting people.
And when the guards, and I'm assuming other inmates, found out as well that you liked Shujaa, how challenging did it make it for you to come to work, and was there a point where you were told not to come back?
It was very difficult, particularly with the guards. I think we were pretty careful, but clearly, you know, we spent a lot of time talking, and it became not safe for me to be working on that same tier. And I chose to go out and work on his case. So I helped start his defense committee. And we continued to talk on the phone, and I think, you know, it's interesting, right before we came today, I pulled out some letters that he didn't know I'd saved that we had from prison, and it was like, this was an incredible time, because he didn't think he'd get out. And it was quite amazing that we've lived all these years together. And I helped with the defense committee. I was in court every day during his 4th trial.
What was the feeling amongst your family members? You know, you are, yes, Phyllis, that's nice, you're helping out, but do you think this is really going to go somewhere? Because I would imagine they would think too, well, he's not getting out, he's on death row. And to see you still pouring yourself into helping him and supporting him. What feedback did you get from your family?
I didn't have a lot of family, so I see this problem with many other people who have loved ones on death row. For me, I had a political family of friends, so I was supported. And one of our good friends became his legal advisor. He was in law school and helped write an amicus brief for Shujaa. So for me personally, I think there was residual after he got out. I had problems with other siblings. But I think it's one of the things that's a big issue for family, and people have overcome it, those that did have questions. And for many years when we first moved here, we didn't really talk about it because we felt like our children would suffer from the discrimination about a death row exoneree being in the school, being their coach, and that gets into the after exoneration issues.
And one of the things that I'm sure a lot of people want to know is how, Shujaa, did you end up in Maryland if you were in prison in California and you were born in Louisiana?
I don't really know. I just know I left the South at 11 years old and moved to California, and after I got out of prison, I tried to stay in California. And I wanted, that's my state. But once I was released from prison, the atmosphere, the police department, and the security, the watch that they had on me just became overwhelming. And
you still felt like you weren't innocent enough?
Oh, I was watched constantly. And my lawyer, when I was released from prison, he advised me to leave. I said, no. I said, I'm gonna stay here and fight. And after having a few problems with law enforcement, my wife and I, we decided it would be best for us to go to another space.
Did you have children at that point?
I think at the time we left, our first daughter, Jamila, she was born and she was maybe
7 months old.
7 months old. We got us a ride, a truck, and
hit the highway.
And I was just fortunate for the whole year. I just rode around and stayed here for a month with some friends in New York, went to Philadelphia, stayed with some friends, and ultimately another friend, when they was putting us out, said, it's about time for you all to leave, right? They didn't literally say that. So I come to Maryland. Another friend said, come on, Shujaa, you can come on down here and stay with us. I got a big house. So we said, oh yeah. So we came to Maryland, and we liked the area, and especially Tacoma Park is where I reside at now, and it's been a part of my life, and that's where we have raised our children in the state of Maryland.
Okay, and both of you still stay pretty busy, and we're going to get into how Shujaa rarely gets to sleep, and Phyllis is barely home because you guys are constantly traveling with Witness to Innocence, a national nonprofit that helps people like Shujaa who are in a situation where many believe that they're innocent, and they work tirelessly to help them come home. So we'll get into that when we come back. For more information on the Witness to Innocence organization, you can log on to witnesstoinnocence.org. You can also log on to the Maryland legislators' website at mgaleg.maryland.gov to find out the complete bill listing the changes proposed regarding the capital punishment in Maryland. Stay with us.